To dance. Cool. Say when, Jen. Are we good? Okay. Evening, everybody. Welcome to our little soiree. It's lovely to have you here. We are joined tonight by the Blessed Crow. Thank you so much. Second appearance, and we've given them the entire evening because we liked them so much the first time round. Just a quick promo, because I know that they won't promo themselves. They're recording a new album now. Working on it now. Tim's previous album is up for grabs as well. £8, bargain. And there's a couple of cards there. If you like what they do and you've got your own venue or whatever. Do you do weddings?
We do anything, yeah.
Cool, right.
If you stand still long enough, we'll play in front of them. Yeah.
Cool, brilliant. So we're going to let them take over tonight. Have a great night. If you want to have a chat, have a coffee, do whatever you want here. Open space. Welcome, the Blessed Crow.
Wow, it's lovely to be back and to have a whole evening as well. So often you get just like 20 minutes or half an hour or something like that, so getting a chance to do a full set is wonderful. So it's going to kick off with a song that is on the first two songs are actually on that album, funnily enough.
First three.
The first three songs. You'd think I would know what was on the album, but I only know that because she sang on the third one as well. Let's kick off. This was a song called Common Folk. A lot of these songs, we think that they are ideal for singing along to. We also know that we're the only people that know the words. But if you do pick up on the words and you feel like singing along, then you really won't put us off, I can guarantee. So please do sing along with us. This is called Common Folk.
We're all common people, we're all flesh and bone. You kings and your queens can come down off your thrones. We've all the same passions of love and of hope, So stand up and shout, for we're all common folk. We're all common people, we're all flesh and bone. You kings and your queens can come down off your thrones. We've all the same passions of love and of hope. So stand up and shout, for we're all common folk.
That's the chorus.
We're all common people, that's what makes us great. The fact we're all different is why we're the same. Despite our appearance, our color and creed. Cut us and find that it's red that we bleed. We're all common people, we're all flesh and bone. You kings and your queens can come down off your thrones. We've all the same passions of love and of hope. So stand up and shout, for we're all common folk. Well, it's easy to find all the difference between our brothers and sisters in life's family. Let's celebrate difference we see all around, while we seek out all of our common ground. We're all common people, we're all flesh and bone. You kings and your queens can come down off your thrones. We've all the same passions of love and of hope. So stand up and shout, for we're all common folk. We're all common people, we're all flesh and bone. You kings and your queens can come down off your thrones. We've all the same passions of love and of hope. So stand up and shout, for we're all common folk. Oh, stand up and shout, for we're all common folk. Yes, stand up and shout, for we're all common folk.
Swina's going to get a drum out, get a boron out, which she's upgraded now. It's got its own mic on it now. So there we are. Her sister was always telling her, I can never hear your drum when you're playing it. So we've got a mic now. So we're from Risca. Thank you. And some of you will know that people from Risca are called Risca cuckoos. And there's a good reason why they're called that. Not just because of the metal cuckoo that's around by Tesco's, if you go on the roundabout there. But it's because of this. It's because of a father and a son who decided one day to catch a cuckoo. It goes like this. Oh, many, many years ago in fair old Risca town, there lived a father and his son, and springtime came around. Into the garden flew a bird, so beautifully it sang. The son he cried, I want that bird. The father hatched a plan. And as the bird sang merrily, he'd build a fence around. He'd build it high, he'd build it tall, he'd build it fine and proud. The father set to work at once and toiled both night and day. And when the fence was finished, oh, the bird just flew away. Eventually the bird returned and started up its song. Again they sought to catch the bird, but where had they gone wrong? This time they'd build the fence up high, but higher than before. Convinced they were by doing this, the songbird would be caught. And as the bird sang merrily, he'd build a fence around. He'd build it high, he'd build it tall, he'd build it fine and proud. The father set to work at once and toiled both night and day. And when the fence was finished, oh, the bird just flew away. An older, wiser friend passed by and laughed at both their plight. How could you with a fence at all prevent a bird from flight? Why catch a cuckoo, then he asked, when it already seems a pair of cuckoos here do dwell alike I've never seen. As the bird sang merrily, he'd build a fence around. He'd build it high, he'd build it tall, he'd build it fine and proud. The father set to work at once and toiled both night and day. And when the fence was finished, oh, the bird just flew away. Why try and catch what you possess? Why own the things you've got? Enjoy what God has given us, and then you'll have a lot. And if the risk a cuckoo tale has taught us any truth, it's you can't catch a songbird in a cage without a roof. As the bird sang merrily, he'd build a fence around. He'd build it high, he'd build it tall, he'd build it fine and proud. The father set to work at once and toiled both night and day. And when the fence was finished, oh, the bird just flew away. As the bird sang merrily, he'd build a fence around. He'd build it high, he'd build it tall, he'd build it fine and proud. The father set to work at once and toiled both night and day. And when the fence was finished, oh, the bird just flew away. So when you're we play lots of different types of venues and different types of gigs that we do. So you always kind of what kind of songs shall we do? What kind of songs? So out of the murder ballads gone, and in of the Easter songs come this time. So there's less death and destruction and revenge and murder, and more Easter. So there we are. So the first is a song called "The Temptation," which is kind of the lead up to Easter. I hadn't really thought about this, but yes, Lent. So we're looking at Lent, preparation for Easter. So this is a song that Iona asked me to write. She said, can you write a song about the temptation? And we were away, went to Sidmouth Folk Festival a few years back before lockdown, the first time I'd been there. And I was walking along, and literally the chorus popped into my mind. So I ducked down into an alley, and I sang it into my phone. Because that's what we do these days, don't we? We don't write things down, sing them into our phones. And it was still on my phone for ages. I could hear the seagulls in the background. So this is The Temptation.
For 30 long years I had left him alone, while quietly he lived with his family at home. But when he went to the desert to pray, I knew I was finished if he had his way. I said, I'm concerned for your physical health. You know you should really look after yourself. See here these stones, you could turn them to bread and carry on praying once you have been fed. But he always refused, and he would not be moved, and he always said something to come back at me. Whatever I tried, he would not be denied, and I thought, am I wasting my time tempting thee? I took him right up to the high temple ledge, and it seemed so far down as we stood on the edge. I said that you've no need to worry at all, for the angels would catch you if you were too full. But he always refused, and he would not be moved, and he always said something to come back at me. Whatever I tried, he would not be denied, and I thought, am I wasting my time tempting thee? I took him right up to the top of the world, and I pointed out all of the kingdoms of earth. I said, to gain this you'll have much pain to come. I could save you the trouble if you just bow down. but he always refused, and he would not be moved, and he always said something to come back at me. Whatever I tried, he would not be denied, and I thought, am I wasting my time tempting thee? I thought and I thought, for I would not be beat, but I knew this discussion would end in defeat. My tail between my legs, finally I disappeared. I was angry and cross. Wait now, that's an idea. But he always refused, and he would not be moved, and he always said something to come back at me. Whatever I tried, he would not be denied, and I thought, am I wasting my time tempting thee? 'Cause he always refused, and he would not be moved, and he always said something to come back at me. Whatever I tried, he would not be denied, and I thought, am I wasting my time tempting thee? And I thought, am I wasting my time tempting thee? And I knew I was wasting my time tempting he.
So going from a song that was written in about 2019 to a song that's probably dates back to the Middle Ages. And I can't remember all the words off by heart because it's about 20 verses long. But we won't sing all of them for you. So this is a... I will put my guitar down for a second. So this is a song called Tomorrow Shall Be My Dancing Day. They think it dates back to medieval times because it talks about the legend of my play, which back in those days when they used to have the passion plays. So when, you know, Easter, Christmas were acted out for people in the town square, in the marketplace, to tell the stories. So they think that's possibly why at least the lyrics go back that long. And it's a carol. Even though it talks about Easter, because in the traditional sense of the word, carol is any festival. So it used to be Easter songs were also carols. But this is also a carol because it starts at Christmas and goes right the way through to Easter. But we're giving you the edited highlights today. So we're not going to give you the full 20 verses, but we're going to do it a little bit shorter than that. But for me, it's got a lot in common with Lord of the Dance. It reminds me a lot of that. It starts with Jesus in heaven, about to come down to earth, saying, tomorrow will be my dancing day. Tomorrow I come down to dance on the earth. So that's where it comes from. Again, has got a chorus. If you do want to join in, it's quite repetitive. You will pick it up, I guarantee it. Feel free to join in. Do you want to pitch it and start?
Oh, okay. Tomorrow shall be my dancing day. I would my true love did so chance to see the legend of my play, to call my true love to my dance, sing, oh my love, oh my love, my love, my love. This have I done for my true love. Then afterwards baptized I was, the Holy Ghost on me did glance, my Father's voice heard from above, to call my true love to my dance, sing, oh my love, oh my love, my love, my love. This have I done for my true love. Into the desert I was led, where I fasted without substance. The devil bade me make stones my bread, to have me break my true love's dance. Sing, oh my love, oh my love, my love, my love. This have I done for my true love. For 30 pence Judas me sold, his covetousness for to advance. Mark whom I kiss, the same do hold, the same is he shall lead the dance. Sing, oh my love, oh my love, my love, my love. This have I done for my true love. Before Pilate the Jews me brought, where Barabbas had deliverance. They scourged me and set me at naught, judged me to die to lead the dance. Sing, oh my love, oh my love, my love, my love. This have I done for my true love. Then on the cross hanged I was, where a spear my heart did glance. There issued forth both water and blood, to call my true love to my dance. Sing, oh my love, oh my love, my love, my love. This have I done for my true love. Then down to hell I took my way, for my true love's deliverance, and rose again on the third day, up to my true love and the dance. Sing, oh my love, oh my love, my love, my love. This have I done for my true love.
Last verse, honest.
Then up to heaven I did ascend, where now I dwell in sure substance, on the right hand of God, that man may come unto the general dance. Sing, oh my love, oh my love, my love, my love. This have I done for my true love.
I'm now going to swap instruments over. So I have to unplug my guitar.
Need any help? And then I'll leave you for this one.
Iona's going to leave for this one now. So, again, an Easter song. It's one I wrote a few years ago. And I was really thinking about this time of the year. I like writing songs about Easter and Christmas. I just really thought about all the time that Jesus spent as a carpenter, basically, which was most of his life. So I thought, let's write something about that. Hammers and nails, plane and a lathe, saw and the chisel, the tools of my trade. Seen all of life from here my workshop, for I have constructed both coffins and cots. I am the carpenter, that's my name, craftsman all of my days. And I love the working of my hands, and take delight in all I've made, and take delight in all I've made. For I've made the ploughs to work on the land, and I've made the stables where the cattle are found, And I've made the tools so the seeds can be sown, and wheels on the cart for to bring the crops home. I am the carpenter, that's my name, craftsman all of my days. And I love the working of my hands, and take delight in all I've made, and take delight in all I've made. But what is this so shabbily made? No pride here was taken in this timber frame, 2 beams roughly cut. No time here was lost, but there's no need for finish when making a cross. I am the carpenter, that's my name, a craftsman all of my days. And I love the working of my hands, and take delight in all I've made, and take delight in all I've made. Well, my work here is done, there's no more to do. See, here I handle my tools to you. And even though I go on to the grave, oh, I still take delight in all that I have made. I am the carpenter, that's my name, a craftsman all of my days. And I love the working of my hands, and take delight in all I've made. For I am the carpenter, that's my name, a craftsman all of my days. And I love the working of my hands, and take delight in all I've made, and take delight in all I've made. I take delight in all I have made. Thank you very much. Iona returns. Right, and she's going to bang the drum as well. So this is another traditional song. That looks very low. That's better. This is a song Iona's going to sing. This is a song that's one of those ones where the words crop up lots of times in different songs over the years. No idea if this was the first one that they all span off from, but it's definitely an old song. This is called Prickle Eye Bush. Okay?
Oh, the prickle eye bush that pricks my heart full sore. And if
Ever I get out of this prickle eye bush, well, I never will get in it anymore.
Oh, hangman, stay your hand. Stay it for a while, for I think I see my sister coming over yonder stile. Oh, sister, have you brought me gold or silver to set me free, for to save my body from the cold, cold ground and my neck from the gallows tree? Oh no, I have not brought you gold or silver to set you free, for to save your body from the cold, cold ground, or your neck from the gallows tree. And oh, the prickle eye bush that pricks my heart full sore. And if ever I get
get out of this prickly bush, well, I never will get in it anymore.
Oh, hangman, stay your hand. Stay it for a while, for I think I see my mother coming over yonder stile. Oh, mother, have you brought me gold or silver to set me free, or to save my body from the cold, cold ground and my neck from the gallows tree? Oh no, I have not brought you gold or silver to set you free, or to save your body from the cold, cold ground, or your neck from the gallows tree. And oh, the prickly bush that pricks my heart full sore. And if ever I get out of this prickly bush, well, I never will get in it anymore. Oh, hangman, stay your hand. Stay it for a while, for I think I see my true love coming over yonder stile. Oh, true love, have you brought me gold or silver to set me free, for to save my body from the cold, cold ground, or my neck from the gallows tree? Oh yes, I have brought you gold and silver to set you free, for to save your body from the cold, cold ground, and your neck from the gallows tree. And oh, the prickly bush that pricks my heart full sore. Oh, and now that I'm out of this prickly bush, well, I never will get in it anymore. Oh, and now that I'm out of this prickly bush, well, I never will get in it anymore.
I didn't write many songs in lockdown. You kind of think that, you know, lockdown would be a great time to write songs, but I tend to write songs when I'm travelling around and when I'm out and about. So I didn't write many, but this was one that I did. And it was inspired by the protests in Bristol when the statue of Edward Colston was rolled off his plinth and into the docks, which seemed to me poetic justice. So I thought that is as a song in that, so I wrote one. I often describe this as a sea shanty. I've been corrected, it's not a sea shanty. A sea shanty is a very, very, very specific thing, and this is not it. The Weller Man is not a sea shanty. Did you know that? The Weller Man is not a sea shanty. It's a song of the sea. So a sea shanty is something like What Do You Do With a Drunken Sailor, whereby once you've heard the first line, you know the entire song. So that's a sea shanty, a proper work song, that you know that. So if you can do that, if somebody sings you the first line, you think, I've got a good feeling, I know how the rest of this song goes, that's probably a sea shanty. So I will not call this a sea shanty, 'tis a song of the sea, or more accurately, a song of Bristol docks, but this is called Heave Ho, but I do think you can sing along to it, so have a go. Iona will be singing along, so you'll be in good company. So this is Heave Ho. How fitting, how fine, and how it should be that the statue of Edward Colston, yes, he, a man by whose hands many drowned in the sea, should be cast in the docks down there at Bristol Quay. So heave ho, and over he goes to a watery grave, and the depths far below, a fate that so many a slave came to know. So heave ho, and over he goes. See, it's easy. Now Edward the slaver has blood on his hands, but they still made a statue to remember the man. and they point to his works and to his charity, and forget all the souls that were lost in the sea. So heave ho, and over he goes to a watery grave and the depths far below. A fate that so many a slave came to know. So heave ho, and over he goes. Now 84,000 people he stole, away from their families, away from their homes. A quarter of them were to die on the waves, and a living hell waited for those who remained. So heave ho, and over he goes to a watery grave and the depths far below. A fate that so many a slave came to know. Heave ho, and over he goes. How fitting, how fine, and how it should be that the statue of Edward Colston, yes, he, a man by whose hands many drowned in the sea, should be cast in the docks down there at Bristol Quay. Heave ho, and over he goes to a watery grave and the depths far below. A fate that so many a slave came to know. Heave ho, and over he goes. 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 So I'm going to do a song which, again, is on the album, although the version we do is better now because Iona sings on it as well, so I can admit that. It's definite improvement. So one of the songs I definitely remember doing last time, so we did this before, so obviously you'll all know the words. But it's a true story. Some of the songs that we sing, we do we love a little bit of folklore, we love a bit of that, but we also love picking up true stories along the way. And I need a cap on this, don't I? So we went up to Oxford about 10 years ago, although I've been saying about 10 years ago for about 5 years, so it's probably a bit longer than that now. And we went to Oxford Jail, which is now a museum, and you can have guided tours. So we did a guided tour. And while we were doing the guided tour, the guide told us about a story of a woman called Anne Green, who was charged with murder and was hanged. We had to change the lyrics, actually, from hung to hanged recently. We thought, in case the grammar police got us, so we've changed it. It was hanged, and you would think that would be the end of her story, but it was not. So we thought, and it's one of those nice stories where actually where the underdog is the one that comes good. And so often the people with the money or the power are the ones that come out on top. And this is a true story where those roles were well and truly reversed through the course of the story. So, all true, Google it, you will find her there, Anne Green. It goes like this. Anne Green was a fair young maid who worked for old Sir Thomas Reid. She caught the eye of Sir Tom's grandson, they met secretly. Anne Green found that she was pregnant, but when she was 6 months gone, the baby died, and so she hid it, was not hid for long. And murder cried, old Sir Thomas, murder cried his family, and how could she, a poor young maiden, argue things that were unseen? Green, she was charged with murder. She declared her innocence. She had no chance to get a fair trial. Tom's friend was the judge. They led her to the wicked gallows, put the noose around her head, and there she hanged for such a long time. They pronounced her dead. And murder cried Anne Green's friends, and murder cried her family. But how could they, the poor and lowly, argue things that were unseen? Anne Green's cold dead form was taken to the doctor to proceed. But when they opened up the coffin, she began to breathe. She told them she had been to heaven. She'd seen the Lord and the angels too. Now murderers don't go to heaven, so what were they to do? 'Cause heaven cried, the poor young maiden. Heaven cried, young and green. And how could they, the rich and mighty, argue things that were unseen? Word got out about young Anne Green, how she had come back to life. Anne Green was pardoned, but old Sir Tom 3 days later died. Later in life, when Anne Green then died, up to heaven then she went. She saw the good Lord come to meet her. He said, "Welcome back again." And who are they? The rich and mighty. Anne Green, you won't find them here. And who are they to try and argue about what only you and I had seen? For I had seen, oh I had seen, yes I had seen. So not quite a... it's completely true that Sir Tom died 3 days later after she was vindicated. So it's a true story, true story. So this next one, it's not so much an Easter story, but it is a song. But it is a song about Jesus. And it kind of picks up on the fact that something that doesn't get talked about a lot, which was what Jesus said people said about him. Which one of the things that he said people said of him was that he was a drunk and a glutton. Now, we don't hear that very often, do we? So I thought, well, if we don't hear about things like that, I like writing songs about them. So that's what we got. And you'd never believe, looking around the world these days, that Jesus said it was harder for a camel to get through an eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to get into heaven. But I'd like to believe him. So this is what this is about. It's called Homeless Lord.
A rogue, a drunk and a liar, he was called by powerful men. But I'd rather follow a homeless lord than a rich man 9 times out of 10. 'Cause it's better to follow a poor man, because this you surely will find, that despite his riches and all his wealth, it's a rich man that will rob you blind. So hold the hand of a homeless man and let him lead you home. He had no real king above had no wealth, no glittering crown, but a homeless wanderer from Galilee, that it was turned this world upside down. 'Cause he challenged the movers and shakers, and he turned rich people away. Though his call was open to anyone, it was too high a price than they'd pay. So hold the hand of a homeless man and let him lead you home. So take all your riches and shove 'em, and take all your power as well. For I'd rather follow a homeless lord than receive accolades among men. So leave all your homes and possessions, leave behind anything that's of worth, and then come and follow a homeless lord, and you'll find you'll inherit the earth. So hold the hand of a homeless man and let him lead you home. Hold the hand of a homeless man and let him lead you home. Hold the hand of a homeless man and let him lead you home.
We're going to do one more before we take a little bit of a break. Now, this is a bit of a favourite for Iona to sing. We often go to the Newport Folk Club. It's good to see some folks from the Newport Folk Club tonight. Thank you. And even when I don't manage to make it, Iona still gets up on her own and sings a cappella. It takes a lot of guts, I think, to do that. And this is a song she often does on her own. But it's a song, it's a bit of folklore. So if you go up towards Abercarn, there was, I don't know if there still is, there was a farm called Troyne Farm. And on that farm, it was a puka. So a puka is like a bit of a Welsh pixie or a little goblin or some mischievous thing. And it's just okay as long as you keep on the right side of it. Like, in fairness, like most people, really. So as long as if you make an agreement with it, stick to your agreements, this is just advice in case you ever, happen to pass across a puka at any point. So this is that local tale, and we call it the puka, funnily enough.
A serving girl named Blodwen worked hard up at Troyne Farm until it was a puka appeared to her alarm. He did not mean to trick her, no, that was not his cause. But he said for milk and bread he'd do all of her chores. And if you make a deal with a puka, you know you best take care, 'cause if you break a deal with a puka, then you know you best beware. The pact they had between them worked well for many days, until it was in Blodwen a thirst and hunger raged. She drank the puka's milk and she ate all of his bread. And when the puka found out, much mischief he did spread. The puka chased young Blodwen all around Troyne Farm. He kicked her and he beat her and caused her hurt and harm. He did distress the cattle and give them such a fright, and knock upon the farmhouse door in the middle of the night. And if you make a deal with a puka, you know you best take care, 'cause if you break a deal with a puka, then you know you best beware. farmer he decided to go down to the fair. But as he journeyed homeward, fog caught him unawares. He could not see the pathway upon that misty night. But far off in the distance there he saw a lantern light. The light the farmer followed, but stopped to catch his breath, and found that he was standing right on a high cliff edge. And far across the chasm the Pooka he did spy, holding up the lantern light so he would fall and die. And if you make a deal with the Pooka, you know you best take care, 'cause if you break a deal with the Pooka, then you know you best beware. The Pooka was so angry that his plan had failed. He left Troy far behind him and was not seen again. And if you make a deal with the Pooka, you know you best take care, 'cause if you make a deal with the Pooka, then you make a deal with the Pooka, and you break the deal with the Pooka, then you know you best beware.
Thank you very much. So we're going to take a little bit of a break now, so we'll be back with you shortly. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, we're going to give them 10 minutes or so. They can grab a drink. It's on the house, guys, for you too. Another plug, they are also on Spotify, The Blessed Crow, and Bandcamp as well. Awesome music and lyrics. Thank you very much.
5. It's not. It's capo 2, isn't it? I don't know whether I will do that. I don't know. I'm having cold feet now. What do you think? Right? Could do that. Are you drumming on this one?
Yes, of course I am.
I only just remembered she's drumming on this next song. So very oddly, we got a chance to play in Cineworld yesterday. You know, wish you don't get a chance to do that very often. Because with the release of the Dungeons and Dragons films, they wanted a folk band or folk musicians to play in the foyer. So I thought, yeah, why not? So we did. And although this isn't really a song about the fantasy world, it does mention dragons in it. So we thought, well, that's apt enough, that'll do. So we did that one, amongst all the other songs we had to do anyway. But this is a song about the last time that Wales was invaded, or at least attempted to be invaded, which was in
1797.
1797, when the Welsh were, well, the French tried to invade Wales. Exactly. And that's what they got made short shrift of. So this is the Battle of Fishguard. 1, 2, 3, 4.
The ships come sailing in, this country for to win. But winds they raged and whipped the waves and drove them back again. To Bristol was the plan, but they would never land. So Fishguard was the town where they would rise and take their stand. The soldiers came this land to claim and found that dragons can't be tamed. The legion failed, but they prevailed, the brave daughters of Wales. The Black Legion arrived from France and claimed their prize, but they would never see that day, for they would be denied. Jemima Nicholas, so brave and so fearless, she captured 12 and had them held up in the church locked fast. The soldiers came this land to claim and found that dragons can't be tamed. The legion failed, but they prevailed, the brave daughters of Wales. The women of the town were quickly rallied round, stood on the hill, the blood to chill like soldiers looking down. The French shook at the sight, but unprepared to fight, surrendered to the women who had fooled them of their plight. The soldiers came this land to claim and found that dragons can't be tamed. The legion failed, but they prevailed, the brave daughters of Wales. The soldiers came this land to claim and found that dragons can't be tamed. The legion failed, but they prevailed, the brave daughters of Wales.
This is a little story we made up. Every once in a while, we like to make up a few tales along the way. So this is especially if it's got a little bit of a twist in the tale, is what I tend to like. So this is a song called The Hollow Yew.
There were two sisters, fine and fair. The younger went to market. She saw a handsome prince pass there. He stopped to talk a minute. He said, I am a widower, and you'd make a fine lady. Would you meet me far from here, in quiet and in safety? Meet me by the hollow yew, when all the world's in darkness. Underneath the silver moon we'll pass an hour between us. The younger sister wandered home and spoke unto the other. She told her of the handsome prince and of the tryst he offered. The sister laughed at what she heard. His wife is much alive. He will take your maidenhead and run home to his wife. Meet me by the hollow yew, when all the world's in darkness. Underneath the silver moon we'll pass an hour between us. The younger sister ventured forth unto the hollow yew tree, waited till the prince appeared, and this she said unto he, I know your wife is much alive, and that you have deceived me. What would people say if they should know the truth about thee? The prince, he laughed and mocked the girl. What witness will support thee? And to his shock the sister stepped out from the hollow yew tree. I have heard your every word, but worry not, your highness, for I feel 2 bags of gold would guarantee my silence. Leave them in the hollow yew, when all the world's in darkness. Underneath the silver moon we'll pass the gold between us. Leave them in the hollow yew, when all the world's in darkness. Underneath the silver moon we'll pass the gold between us.
So, I'm going to do another song about a little bit about folklore. So, just as we were going into lockdown, oh, thank you, I haven't done it yet. Somebody told us about bees. I don't know if you know much about bees, but apparently, you do. Excellent, that's one. Oh, they have hives. Oh, they keep bees. Well, so you might know this then already. So apparently when anything really important happens in the news or anywhere, you have to go and tell the bees about it. And one of the biggest things that you have to tell the bees, she knew, She knew. Excellent. But one of the biggest things you have to tell the bees about is if the beekeeper dies. Because if the beekeeper dies and you don't tell the bees, they might fly off. So apparently you have to go and tell the bees. So this is a song about that, which is unimaginatively called The Beekeeper. The beekeeper said to his friend, "Will you do this for me? When I come to my end, oh, would you tend to my bees?" The beekeeper soon passed away, and his friend was as good as his word. Saw him in town the next day, and this is what I overheard. The beekeeper's dead, I am the new keeper, that's what he said. Nothing could be clearer, but in his haste, or at least so it seems, he forgot to tell the bees. The new keeper rose the next day, but he knew something was wrong. When he went to the hives, all of the buzzing was gone. The new keeper panicked and ran from each hive on to the next. But the bees had all flown, with not even one of them left. For the beekeeper's dead, I am the new keeper, that's what he said. Nothing could be clearer, but in his haste, or at least so it seems, he forgot to tell the bees. The new keeper said to his friend, "Bewildered am I. When I went to the bees, all I found there were empty hives." Well, his friend said, "Now surely you know that in times such as these, when a beekeeper dies, it's customary to tell the bees that the beekeeper's dead. I am the new keeper, you should have said. Nothing could be clearer, but in your haste, or at least so it seems, you forgot to tell the bees
that the beekeeper's dead. I am the new keeper, you should have said. Nothing could be clearer, but in your haste, or at least so it seems, you forgot to tell the bees. You forgot to tell the bees. You forgot to tell the bees.
Right, so another, oh no, that's not the right one. Another local song. So we used to live, we've only recently moved from Herbert Avenue in Risca, which right at the end, classy, next to the railway. And we used to have a local, which isn't a local anymore, because they've turned it into housing, which was the Welsh Oak. And that was famous because it's where the Chartists met on their march into Newport, or at least that's where some of the Chartists met. By all accounts, stayed there too long. Because by the time that they set off, then they'd sent the soldiers into Newport. So whether that was a strategic error or the ale was too good, I don't know. The ale was always rather nice when we lived there. Yeah, we thought a few years back, it was something, I can't remember, it was an anniversary. And Deb said, you should write a song about that. So, of course, I listened to my wife and I wrote a song about it. The chorus has the line in it, with a sword in our hands and a noose round our neck, which was a line that was given by Dr. William Price. Those might know him. It's from La Ronda. Very strange character. So he said that to John Frost. He says, "You've put a sword in our hands and a noose around our neck." And then when it all kicked off and the soldiers were brought in, he then quickly disappeared over to France dressed as a woman. So, but that was Dr. William Price for you. But this is the song, The Newport Rising. 2, 3, 4. Rise up, all you working men, and stand together once again, fighting for equality, for justice and democracy. With a sword in our hands and a noose around our necks, we will take to the streets, we will never look back. And if we win or we lose, this one fact will remain: we will rise up once again. Oh, marching onwards through the night, 10,000 strong to take the fight. Common people side by side, their voices will not be denied. With a sword in our hands and a noose around our necks, we will take to the streets, we will never look back. And if we win or we lose, this one fact will remain: we will rise up once again. Well, shots were fired and men were lost. Rebellion has a heavy cost. But votes for one and votes for all. They lost the fight but won the war. With a sword in our hands and a noose around our necks, we will take to the streets, we will never look back. And if we win or we lose, this one fact will remain: we will rise up once again. With a sword in our hands and a noose around our necks, we will take to the streets, we will never look back. If we win or we lose, this one fact will remain: we will rise up once. We have rose up once, we can rise up once again. Thank you. And thank you for the dancing. That was very good. So you'll have to encourage the others to dance along with you. That'd be good. Right. So we're going to do a fairly new song for us. We have recorded this for the new album. So it was one of those ones where sometimes you hang on to a song for quite a while before you decide whether you want to commit it to recording, but this one was one that came along and we thought, yeah, we're gonna do that one. So we're gonna see if we get the words right.
Yes. Good point. No clue.
No clue. Well, probably Summer, I would say, would be a yeah, I think that's good. Iona's doing the artwork as well because she's very clever. So yeah, I think the Summer is a safe
Bet, yeah.
safe bet. The summer ends in about September, November, isn't it? Something like that. So. Right, so we find out this song is in B. I have to think it was an in C.
Yeah.
Okay.
See me in a baby's smile, or kindness of a stranger. You've heard me in the wind
that sighs, and in the storm that rages. But mostly I am seen and felt wherever love is strongest, and love it leaves a mark on you that will endure the longest. They tried to trap me in a book and in a hard stone building, but I am wild and I am free. I will not be kept hemmed in, for I don't play by human rules, for rules cannot contain me. And like the river I will flow, and you will never tame me. I'm in the smallest blade of grass, and in the oaks that tower. I'm in the crops that feed the world, the plants and all the flowers. I speak to you each night and day. You may not think you hear me, but when you know you're not alone, I know that you can feel me. So take this love and set it free, for love is not for keeping. It's meant for sharing far and wide, for running and for leaping. So let it dance and let it sing, and know this one thing truly, that when you spread your love around, I'm sharing something of me. One more? One more. Right. What should we do? What should we do? Should we do?
Yeah. Which one should we do? Well, you know I love that one, but yeah, that one.
Oh, right.
That
Yeah.
one's
Okay.
great,
No, we'll do that one. No, she's absolutely right. Oh, I need to get one. So I'm going to do the whole thing I did before and completely mess up. So I'm going to take the lead out first this time, because I learned my lessons. Allegedly. Right, so that's that. So, we've written a few songs about the First World War. One was about the Christmas Day armistice. One was about Edith Cavell, who was the nurse that was executed by the Germans for helping the British and the French to escape. And we've also written one that was a made-up story, but this is the one that, although we don't like doing the others ones, but Iona particularly likes doing this one.
And we've definitely practiced this one. More.
This one? All right, okay, that's fine. Just remember if we drum on this one or not. This one's called The King and the Kaiser.
Johnny was naught but a boy when he answered the call. They said your country needs you, so he went off to war. I saw the tears in his eyes as he boarded the train. I saw him wave from the window. I never saw him again. And I blame the king and the Kaiser for causing my poor heart to crack. For when the war was all over, my Johnny, he never came back. They said it was us won the war, but I knew just what I had lost. They said it was us beat the Germans, but I knew that I'd paid the cost. They sang out, God save the King, and rule Britannia as well, lifting their voices to heaven while I was living in hell. And I blame the king and the Kaiser for causing my poor heart to crack. For when the war was all over, my Johnny, he never came back. John's hair was grey when he passed from this life on to the next. For the man that had come home was not the boy that had left. His eyes were never as blue, and his smile was never as wide. And in some field in Flanders, I know my Johnny had died. And I blame the king and the Kaiser for causing my poor heart to crack. For when the war was all over, my Johnny, he never came back. And I blame the king and the Kaiser for causing my poor heart to crack. For when the war was all over, my Johnny, he never came back.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for coming out to spend the evening with us. It's been lovely playing for you. As I said, it's always nice to get a good chunk of time to play our songs. So thank you very much for coming along and sticking with us as well. Hope you've really enjoyed it, and it'll be great to cross paths again. So thank you very much. Cheers.